Hello guys, Sir Grindelot here with an update about my stuff. It's been about a week since my first video about my stuff, so let's see if during this week I have made any progress. Spoiler, I did! Yeah, I improved my gear quite a bit. A couple of things have not changed, particularly my helmet is still a Dahiha infused in a Dahiha with a +1 to all abilities enchantment. And the weapon that I'm using for farming is still a grid. Tier 6 grid, infused on tier 6 grid with whatever enchantment I found. I don't really remember what it was, but it was rubbish. Everything else has changed. A couple of things, you may have already seen them from my previous video about tinkering. My tier 6 Idona rings, which were these two, previously infused with Spellbound and I don't remember what else, have been replaced by the same set at tier 5, but with two Dragon Slayer bows. And that has improved the damage quite substantially while not impacting magic and gold find at all, because the set bonus is the same. And the amulet is now an infused Aether, on which I infused another Dragon Slayer bow. And I have a few Dragon Slayer bows, but before starting to use tier 6, of which I only have 2, I decided to use the tier 5s, of which I had 3, to see how the damage would end up being. And the damage is not bad at all, because right now Magic Orbit hits for as much as my multi-missile hit with my old gear. And now multi-missile hits almost 3 times as hard as the previous gear. Regarding the amulet, the damage is actually a little bit lower than previously. Previously I had Equilibrium infused in Equilibrium, both tier 6. And I believe that if I wanted to go full damage, I could either use double Equilibrium or Equilibrium with a Dragon Slayer. But speed for this character, for my mage, was starting to be a bit problematic, because I've recently started to level up an archer which has higher speed, and moving around with the mage felt so slow that I decided to give it a try. Like, let's see if with an Aether infused with a Dragon Slayer I would still have enough damage to grind my favorite areas. And yeah, I still do. And so now the speed is like this, much better, especially when adding teleport. A couple of other differences from my old gear are the armor and the shield, because they are now not an armor infused with a helmet and a shield infused with a helmet. They are now a Strength of the Weak infused with a Demon Bone and a Jamazen infused with a Demon Bone. I was a bit worried in the beginning for 2 reasons. The first one was the loss in armor. I have a lot less armor than previously. And the second one was the loss in raw stats, because infusing a weapon into a shield or a piece of armor means that only the basic stats transfer, not the upgraded one. And overall, my magical damage, armor, intellect were all much lower than before. But that extra +1 to all skills, because the Dahiha gives +2, whereas Demon Bone gives +3, was just enough that both the armor and the shield increased my damage by roughly 5%. And so changing both of them gave me an extra 10% damage, of course at a cost. Lower armor, much lower health points, and that's why right now you see me running with Magic Shield, something that I never used. So I basically had to give up Storm, and I now rely on Magic Orbit and Multi-Missile to farm monsters. And having a look at the bank, well, at the bottom you can see I have a fairly massive collection of Wheels of the Light King, because I'm pretty sure that once I start testing dual classes, I will need a few Wheels of the Light King. Jamazen, I have an amount that makes no sense. Dahiha, I only had a couple of spares until probably Saturday. Then between Saturday and Sunday I dropped so many, which is good, because it's a very good piece of equipment and it can be used by all classes, so no problem. I have several Demon Bones, several Xanidia, what did I say? Several Xanidia, I have not used them yet. I'm still keeping Embers in my bank, at least those with the best roll, but all the testing that I've done so far shows that Demon Bone is better, damage-wise. So, unless in the future they change Mana Bomb to make it be much better, I don't know how, I don't really see a use for Embers, but keeping 4 there as spares is not bad. And this is my private collection of Spellbound. Unfortunately, most of them are tier 5, which is okay for testing. I have a spare tier 6, I've not used it yet. I have a few Demonic Guards, tier 6. What's this one? Oh, Astral Ranger Coat. I should move it to my Archer character. And all these are either Eye of the Balor or Aether or Equilibrium. I have a lot of many. Why is there a Jamazen on this page? I don't know. This is Equilibrium. Here I have a couple of Chaos Bands. I like them, but they're only tier 5. And I have one tier 6 somewhere, probably on the Archer. And I want one more so that I can use both of them at tier 6. And these 2 Magnetium, I don't know why I keep them, but that's plus 70 Magic Find. It just looks so juicy to me. And the last page, a large amount of Idona's set pieces. The reason for that is that I want to tinker. I want to do a bit of tinkering. I'm currently using the 2 rings and something else as an amulet, which right now is Aether with Dragon's Lair. I'm starting to think about doing one Idona ring, the Idona amulet, which is trash, but we need it for the bonus. And in the spare ring slot, use a Chaos ring. Because I believe that damage-wise, having a Chaos ring infused with a Dragon's Lair would be a very, very, very good. But it requires a bit of testing, and at the moment I run out of tier 5 Dragon's Lairs. As soon as I find a tier 5 Dragon's Lair, I will infuse it on this Chaos Band, and we will do a bit of testing to see how things are going. And here are my Dragon's Lairs. I have not found any for basically a couple of months, and as soon as I rolled an Archer, I found 3 tier 5, 2 tier 6s and 1 tier 4. I don't know how we'll use the tier 4, but the critical and critical damage bonus are the same, so again, testing. Eventually I will find a use for it. And quickly going to the tower to... Oops, it's so easy to misclick that. Quickly going to the tower to see how quick is the farming situation right now. Yeah, that's an improvement. That's a very big improvement. Because as you can see, I'm at 2.4 billion with Magic Orbit, and basically the only mobs... Ooh, I want that. Starve Topaz. The only mobs that I cannot one-shot are the elites, the champions, whatever they're called, the blue ones. Everything else gets one-shot, which means I can do the walking simulator at a very, very quick speed. And that improves the overall drop rate massively. Talking about drop rate, as soon as I clear this next floor, let's have a look at my Magic Find. 29,617, and I need 23 more topazes to have an extra 2 divine Magic Find gems, and then we will be able to finally test a Demonic Guard. In terms of DPS, the Demonic Guard is trash because it has Vitality and Health Points and Thorns. It has +1 to all skills, which is not bad, but again, compared to Jamazen, there would be a substantial drop in damage. I will lose +1 to all abilities. I will use raw magical damage, raw intellect, and I'm worried I will not be able to one-shot monsters anymore. But I'm certain that I will go way above 30,000 magic fine. And I think once I do, I will be able to decide if I want to stay there at 30,000. Yeah, never kissed by good fortune. If I want to stay at 30,000 or if I want to stick with Jamazen or try an Astral Shield. Give up a couple of magic find gems and just rely purely on damage. And regarding the Astralium, I finally managed to max the last tier on the wheel, increase intellect by 57% and change. That was a huge boost in damage. And the only things that are missing are here. The increase in magical damage. My hope is that increasing this will... My hope is that increasing this magical damage will make up for the loss in damage caused by the Demonic Guard, and this will allow me to stay in balance, like still able to one-shot mobs, but with much higher magic find. Everything else is already maxed out, and there is no improvement I can do, but here there are still 5 steps to unlock, so it will take quite a lot of time. Luckily, being able to do the walking simulator here means that I can get to new champion mob packs very quickly, and that's a very fast way to get Astrium points. Every now and then I wish that the arena had some champion mobs, but it would be so easy to abuse. The Astrium wheel would become a joke and everyone would have it maxed within a day or two. Ooh, kissed by a golden fortune. Go, 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 go! Walking simulator, let's go! Farming at this speed with close to 30,000 magic find, the amount of gear that I can get is really, really massive. And it takes few minutes before I need to go to town to empty the backpack. It's a massive improvement, really, really massive. And I was not expecting my character to be this better in just 1 week of farming. Of course, the RNG gods smiled upon me because getting so many Dragon Slayers in no time helped me a lot. All my increase in magic in damage, not in magic fine, in damage is due to the Demon Slayer bows, Dragon Slayer bows. And I had the Demon Bones in the bank for a very long time, so it was just a matter of throwing them on a shield and an armor to test them. That did not require any luck at all. But finding, what was it, 3, 5, 6 Demon Slayer, Dragon Slayer bows, oh wow, another kiss by good fortune. 6 Dragon Slayer bows, oh my god! Within a weekend, basically, it was a huge, huge kiss by the RNG god. I don't know for how long I will keep calling that bow Demon Slayer, because there are so many demon whatever items in this game, like Demon Finger, Demon Bone, that I will keep calling it Demon Slayer for a very long time. But who knows, maybe they will introduce the Demon Slayer weapon. Oh no, I didn't want to click that one. Oh my god, the armor bonus. I really don't need it right now. The place where sometimes I need it were the key dungeons, the Forgotten Realms. Because I lost so much armor and magic resistance that without magic shield it was starting to be a bit tricky. Maybe not the lower level ones, like 430 up to 500, but I was starting to struggle a little bit. And Magic Shield fixed that problem. And of course, as I go up in tiers of keys, double garbage. As I go up in tiers, I will eventually have to quit using Grid and replace it probably with Demon Bone. Just to have that extra damage that keeps Veridom going. Because around 500, for the level of a key, especially when they get a big health bonus, I start to slow down a lot. It's not a walking simulator anymore. And the other huge plus of this configuration is that with this speed plus teleport, I'm not bothered as much as before by Arcane Passage. I'm still bothered by zombies because I need to wait for them, but Arcane Passage is almost manageable. Yeah. English is such a difficult language. I don't know if I will ever recover. Anyway, this was a quick update regarding my stuff, my gear. This is 24th of August, and in about a week or so we will do an update to see what new stuff I find, and if any, and how's the situation on the Astron gear, and how's the situation on my archer. I have not showed it live yet. That's a very interesting character. It will be one of my next few videos. Anyway, Sir Grindalot checking out, wishing you a happy grinding, and see you guys next time. Take care.